Hello and welcome to Anyone Can Animate Part 2. In this lecture, we'll be talking about symbols and Motion Tween in Adobe Flash. First, let's see what are symbols. Symbols are drawings that can be saved in Adobe Flash library. Symbols can be created, modified, and removed. There are two major usage for symbols in Flash. Symbols helps us to organize or group together drawings or shapes that we create in Flash as a single object. For example, here's a Mickey Mouse drawing that I've made. And as you can see, it is made up of different drawings. For example, the eyes are one piece, the nose is a separate piece, the mouth is a separate one, and the ears and the rest of the head is separate pieces. It'll be difficult for me to move this entire object. All I have to do is every single time that I move, I have to make a complete selection and then I have to move. Otherwise, they will go as individual pieces. So in order to keep this together, what I can simply do is I can convert this to a symbol. So now that it is a symbol, I can simply just select anywhere and I can move it as a single object. Now the second advantage of using symbols is we can create multiple instances of a single symbol without increasing the file size. Now what do I mean by that? So let's imagine I want to have an extra copy of the Mickey Mouse. Now what I can simply do is I can select it, Control C and Control V, so I get a new copy of the same Mickey Mouse. But essentially what I have done is I have doubled the file size. For example, if this Mickey Mouse was 100 kilobytes, now with the second Mickey Mouse face, it has become 200 kilobytes. Now, especially considering that we're using Flash to create applications for a website, for internet, it needs to be loading faster, which means we should have a less amount of file size. So in order to fix this problem, all I can do is convert it to a symbol, and instead of making duplicate, all I can do is just click and drag from the existing symbol in order to make instances. Now I can drag as many Mickey Mouse as I want. I can resize them to make it bigger or smaller, and still my file size will not increase because all these are just instances of one single file. This is much similar to creating shortcuts in our Windows desktop. Now let's talk about the types of symbols. We have graphic, button, and movie clip. Graphic is just a simple drawing. Movie clip will have animation inside. And button is an interactive button that we can use to navigate through our interface or to have any kind of interaction between the user and the application. In this lecture, we'll learn about movie clip symbol and graphics symbol, and we'll push button symbol for another lecture because it is more related to interactivity. So let's create our first symbol. Here's a dolphin, and it has got lots of different shapes. So I want to convert this into a graphic symbol because it's just going to be a drawing. I'll select the entire dolphin, right-click on it, and choose Convert to Symbol. I can also do the same by going to Modify and Convert to Symbol, or I can even press the shortcut key F8. I'm going to click here, and this opens up the dialog box where we've got a couple of options. So first I'll give the name for the symbol, so I'll call this dolphin, and then I can choose what type of symbol I want to have. So here it is. I can choose either movie clip or button or graphic. So this is just a drawing, so I'm going to choose graphic. And I'll click OK. So now we have converted our drawing into a symbol. To know for sure that we have converted it, we can go to Library, and there you will find the new symbol that we have created. And it also shows a small preview here. If you're not able to see Library, just in case if somebody has closed it or something like that, you can go to Window and choose Library from here. Now that we have created our symbol, let's create some instances for the symbol. I'll go ahead and choose Free Transform tool. That is the third tool from the top. I'll select my dolphin. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So to make it smaller, we can go to the top right corner or any of these corners, and you will notice that the mouse pointer changes to a double arrow. So I'll click there and move it so that it becomes smaller. And notice that when I make it smaller, I don't have the control over the proportion, so sometimes it's being stretched or it's being squeezed. To maintain the same proportion, we can hold the Shift key and make the movement. So now it becomes smaller and it maintains the same proportion. I'll go ahead and click and drag this up here. I'll make another instance of the same symbol by clicking and dragging from the dolphin symbol from the library. So I made a second instance. I'll keep it here. I'll make a third one. Now let's say, for example, I want to change the color of this dolphin from blue to, let's say, just to have it funny, I want to make this pink dolphin. So all I can do is either double click on the symbol, or I can double click on any of these instances. So when I double click, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually opening that symbol for editing. Now when I do the double click, one easy way to find out if we are inside that symbol is by checking up here. So previously it just shows us scene 1, which is our primary document that you're working on. If I double click on a particular symbol, it opens up that symbol and shows us that inside scene 1 we are inside the symbol dolphin. So that's the same name that we have here. So any change that I make here is automatically going to affect this dolphin. So let's go ahead and select all these blue areas. I'm holding my shift key for selecting multiple objects, and I'll go here and choose, let's say, pink. And you will notice that all the other dolphins have also changed the color, and the original symbol that we have has also changed to pink color, which means that all these 3 dolphins are the shortcuts of this original symbol. Undo that, Control Z to get the original dolphin color. I'll go back so that I'm back in my drawing area. Now let's say, for example, I want to have one dolphin and a different color. So in that case, we have to make a duplicate of our symbol. So I'll make a duplicate of the symbol, right click and choose duplicate. So here I'll choose dolphin 2. I'll leave it as graphic and say OK. So I have a second copy now. I'll bring the second dolphin down here. Just going to scale it smaller, something like that maybe. Okay, good. So this dolphin, I want to have it in a different color. So I'll double click on this, and now let me select 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this one I want to make it as pink. So as you can see, the other dolphin still remains in the same original color, and only this dolphin changes to the pink color. That is because we have 2 symbols now, one with blue and one with pink. So if I want more pink colors, all I have to do is just drag from here. If I want more blue colors, all I can do is just drag from there. So that's how we can create symbols, modify them to match our needs, and if you want to have a slight modification to the existing symbol, you can duplicate that symbol and make the changes that you want. Okay, now that we've created a symbol, let's animate the symbol. The animation that we're going to look at is called Motion Tween. And for Motion Tween, we need 2 conditions. Number 1 is the object that we want to animate for Motion Tween has to be a symbol. If it is not a symbol, Flash will actually convert it to a symbol. And condition number 2 is the object that we want to animate has to be sitting in its own layer. That means, like, in the layer where the dolphin is, there should not be any other content. So let's give a name to this layer. Let's call it dolphin. Let's right click on the first frame and choose Create Motion Tween. This will do a couple of things. Number 1, it stretches the timeline to 24 frames. This is because we're working on 24 frames per second, which means that we will have 24 frames for creating 1 second of animation. And you will also notice that the icon for the layer has also changed to a Motion Tween icon. At the frame number 1, my dolphin is in the left side, and I want the dolphin to go to the right side at the end of 1 second. So that means like frame number 24. So I'll take this control to 24th frame, and I'll move this dolphin to the right side. Now while doing this, make sure that you've chosen either the free transform tool or the selection tool. If you're in some other tool, then it might not work the way you want. So once I move this, a couple of things happens here. Number 1 is we get this green line with lots of dots inside, and we also get a small diamond shape in frame number 24. This means that we have created the animation. To test the animation, we can press the Enter key. So you can see that the dolphin goes from left side to the right side in 24 frames. So that is like 1 second. So now the dolphin is moving from left to right, that's fine, but I want the dolphin to go up and come down. So let me go to frame number 12. So this is like 10, 11, and 12. At frame number 12, I want to push this up. So I'm basically creating a third keyframe. So now you can see that Flash has automatically filled in this gap to create this nice path. And we also get a diamond shape in frame number 12. So now if I play, the dolphin will go up and then come down. That's nice, but still the movement is not very smooth. It's kind of like linear. It's more going straight up and straight down. But if we consider a dolphin jump, it's going to be more like an arc-like path. To edit the path of the animation, we can use the Convert Anchor Point tool, because these 3 points that we have, our keyframes, are actually anchor points in this path. So let's go to click on this pen tool, press and hold. You will have more options there. You can go to Convert Anchor Point tool, or you can also press the shortcut key C. With that tool, I can just click in the middle and just pull it to the left side, and you will see that the path is being smoothed out. That's it. So let's play it again. Now you can see that the dolphin goes in a very smooth path. We can also modify these anchor points with the help of the sub-selection tool, which is the second arrow tool that you find up here. So the white arrow. So I can also use that white arrow to select these anchor points and pull them down, for example, something like that. Now you can see that the dolphin goes from a lower point to a higher point, then comes down. Now further, I just want to make the dolphin to go up by looking upwards, and when it comes down, I want it to look downwards. So now I have to choose the free transform tool, go to the first frame, rotate the dolphin to look up, go to the middle frame, make it look straight, go to the last frame, make it look down. There you go. So let's play it again. Good. So now that we have our dolphin diving, let's create some water and a little bit of wave to make it look like the dolphin is jumping from water. So for creating that, I'll create a new layer first, because this is our Motion Tween layer. We cannot do anything there. And I'll create a line. Take my line tool, just draw a straight line from left to right. Great. I'll change the color of this. I'll choose the selection tool, select the line, and go to properties. Let me change the color to blue, and I'll increase the stroke thickness. I have to make this line to look more like a wave, so that means like I have to bend it. So if I move my mouse somewhere in the middle of the line, it will show me this arc shape in the mouse pointer. So I can just click on it to pull it down. So that way we can make it bend. But what I want is I want to bend it in two directions. That means like half of the line I want it to bend down, and the other half of the line I want it to bend up to create the S shape. But if I try that, Flash does not allow me because it considers the entire line to be a single line. Now to do this, we can do the first bending, let's say the first half to bend down, and the second half I want to bend it up. So what I have to do is I have to first make a selection of the half area. I will have to deselect again. Now Flash has registered that I'm going to edit only this small portion in the right side. Now if I click and drag, as you can see, only the right side gets affected. So now we have a very smooth S shape. So once I've got that, I'll convert this object into a movie clip symbol, because this will be an animation that will be repeated again and again. So I'll go ahead and right click on that, choose convert to symbol, and this time I'll have to choose movie clip. And I'll choose here a name called wave, because it's going to be wave. I'll say OK. So this is a movie clip symbol, which is called as wave, and the animation that I want to create has to be inside the symbol. As you can see here, now we're actually in our drawing area, we're in our scene. I have to first go inside the movie clip symbol, and then I have to create the wave. So I'll double click here. So now you can see that we're inside the movie clip symbol. And here I'll create the animation. And down here in the timeline also, you will find we have a totally new timeline, because previously we had the dolphin and the dolphin's animation. None of them are visible here because this is the timeline inside the movie clip symbol. So let's go ahead and animate it. So at frame number 1, I want to keep the wave in the same pose. I'll go to frame number 20, right click and choose insert keyframe. So I'll have the same exact content at frame number 20 also. And what I want to do is I want to bend this back to its original place. So I'll push this down and I'll push the other half up. So I'll select, deselect, then push it up. Now sometimes because we've made some changes here, if you've not selected exactly the middle area, we will end up with this small little problem. We can just click here and adjust it to make it look like as if there's no problem. So we have two poses, that way and this way. And because this is going to be a looping animation, I want the first frame of the animation and the last frame of the animation to be the exact same. So the last frame is going to be somewhere at frame number 40, and I'll just copy this frame, the first frame, and paste it there. So I'll right click and choose copy frames, go to frame number 40, right click and choose paste frames. So we basically have 3 different frames, and I want to have a smooth animation between these. For creating a smooth animation, when you don't have a symbol, when you just have shapes, we can simply right click and choose create shape tween. Click on that. It'll give us this green line here. That means we have a smooth animation. That's good. And I will also do the same thing here. Right click and choose create shape tween. Let's go ahead and play that. Okay, that's nice. Great. So let's go back to our scene. So I'll just click here. And here, if we play, we won't be able to see the wave animation. That is because the animation is being created inside a symbol or movie clip symbol. So to see the final result of the wave, we have to press Control, Enter. There you go. So that's the wave moving and the dolphin jumping. Okay, now to make it look like the entire area is underwater, I will also create one more layer, push this down below the wave, and I just have to create a rectangle here with the fill color of this blue color. So I'll choose the fill color to be the blue, and I'll choose the stroke color to be transparent. So I'll select, click and drag. Let's make sure that we cover up the entire area. Okay, that's good. So I hope that there will not be any gaps. I'll press Control Enter once again. And there you go. So we have a nice smooth wave, and we have a dolphin that is jumping. So this concludes this lecture on symbols and Motion Tween.